Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Bobby. We've got Dave. We've got Rob. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Good.
well.
Doing good, Bobby. You?
You doing good? And
Good.
we've got the one, the only, Brandon Henry. How you doing, sir?
Awesome. How you guys doing?
Good. I know
Doing
you
well,
got a
sir.
short. I know you got a short time frame here, so we're gonna we're gonna hold off on the intro and everything unless you want me to roll it.
Hell, roll it.
All right. And then we got an announcement to make, so we're gonna let Brandon do that.
Yeah, Area 51 podcast. Jeremy Clements is going to win in Daytona.
Did you guys believe this? Oh my God.
So here comes the young lady out of Lincoln, California, the 67 Kylie Glick. Here goes Kylie Glick.
In the business of my dream, I don't think that they're ready. Let's go. This Cap Houston right here. Bobby, what you got for me?
All right, so we are on episode 50 of the Area 51 Racing Podcast. I cannot believe it. 50 freaking episodes.
We
Heck
are
yeah.
we are now over the hill.
Yes, sir. Brandon, you've been part of this 50 journey. We're going to let you make the announcement.
Okay. I assume you're talking about the.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So I've enjoyed working with you guys. You know, you've been big supporters of JCR, and when I picked for JCR, you know, you guys we got to be good friends, and it's been a good time. You know, I like the direction you are going, so we decided a while back that I was going to help you guys with a lot of your social media stuff, and the intro actually was one of my little babies I put together. We're gonna find a better way to get the intro more, you know, but we're gonna work on the audio quality and stuff. But it's a start, and we'll keep working at it. And I'm excited, you know, things we can put together moving forward. So obviously next season is always up in the air. Don't know for sure where I'm going with that. NASCAR side, at least, I pretty much know what I'm doing everywhere else. But yeah, I'm excited to work with you guys. You know, especially since you know now we're at 50 episodes and the big 5-1 is coming. So excited to see what you guys got planned for that.
Episode 51, I can tell you after some confirmation, episode 51 is going to be all about Jeremy Clements and his family. Obviously, episode 51 goes on Jeremy Clements and the 51 team.
As it should.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you that episode 67 will be about Kylie Glick and her family.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we next year is going to be big. We have some pretty big guests coming on. We have some awesome things coming forward. Brandon's going to help us grow the what do you want to call it? The social media atmosphere of it and the intro, the extra, all that stuff. So we're looking forward to that. We were trying to work on something for tonight for the exit, but obviously computer troubles
Technical
like usual.
difficulties. Yep, as usual.
So when we get that, we will obviously save that for episode 51. But Brandon, I am super excited to tell everybody if they haven't seen it. Brandon won his first race over the weekend.
Dude, about time. I've been I've been in motorsports about 6 years now. Of course, when I first started off, I was doing teardown at Junior Motorsports. So I have inadvertently won races. I don't know. I mean, nothing against shop guys or anything. It's just that I don't know. Being in such a, I felt like that was a small capacity, and I didn't feel like I was really contributing anything to the overall win. So it didn't feel like a win when when Allgaier is winning every other week, you know, and you're working under him. Yeah, it's exciting. It's a dream job, right? But it never felt that the reason why I got into pit side was just because I didn't feel like I was really competing, you know. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You know, all the shop guys, if those guys didn't work, race cars don't get to the racetrack. So they work extremely hard hours. It seems like in basically every discipline, whether it's NASCAR, IMSA, your local late models, your dirt tracks, all those guys bust their tails all the time. But it wasn't for me, you know, and it never felt like something that I really wanted to do long term. So I got into pit side, and NASCAR has proven unfruitful for one reason or another. You know, I could point the blame at a lot of different things, but had I made different business decisions professionally early on, then I might be in a different boat. That being said, I don't think, looking back on it now, that I would have done anything differently, because I like where I'm at. I like the friends and everything, you know, we've made, especially over the past couple of years. And you know, finally getting to victory lane this weekend at COTA was pretty special, because yeah, it has been so long since I started this journey, and I only started it with the goal of winning. Now, I didn't come out here to make money, to earn some sort of fortune or whatever. I really didn't even join to go be a cup champion, you know, one day or whatever. It just, I wanted to win. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to grow something and be a part of something that I believed in. And, you know, especially JCR especially is that's one of those things. That's why I wanted to get more involved with the podcast, because of what they stand for, and their values, you know, their family orientation and everything always sat really well with me. So I don't think I would change anything, because that win coming when it did, those guys over at Team ACP and Tangerine, they run two M4 GT4 BMWs, and those guys bust their tails too. It's a combination of new guys who were very, very driven, very, very intelligent, from the engineer up to, you know, pit lead, and all guys from overseas they're all just really, really good at what they do, and everybody understands exactly what they need to do. Everything works so well, and I've done 4 races with them now, 3, 4, and those first few races were rough, man. You know how it is. I mean, motorsport, sometimes everything just works against you. You know, if you want to win, everything has to work exactly in your favor, and it just did this weekend. You know, and it was cool to see that happen for them, and for me. You know, it's finally, after years and years of trying.
So, do you want to give a shout out to your team and all that?
Absolutely. Team ACP and Tangerine Associates. It's a mouthful, but it's the BMW team out of Florida, not far from Daytona. And I've worked with those guys a good bit this year. It's been fun, you know, from the top to bottom. Catesby Jones, the team owner, Ken, Steve, Billy Johnson. I don't know if you recognize that name. He ran a few Xfinity races, and I think he ran a truck too as well. But he used to work at Roush. He would kind of like a backup driver for Roush. He's a driver coach, incredibly talented, and just nice guy. You know, he went out there and you know, grind his tail off after he had a pretty serious accident after I believe it was our Sebring race. He had a pretty serious accident. So after it was, might have been after the Glen, yeah, after Watkins Glen, had a bad car accident, messed him up pretty good, but he came right back and kept at it, down to I don't know if they're even watching, but Chris Jacob, see, having a brain fart here. All those guys that we worked with did a great job, and they, you know, it paid off. And we're looking forward to working with them a little bit next year, hopefully. I know I'm trying to branch out into the Michelin Pilot Challenge. I'll be working with Dean Martin and pitting his Core Motorsports Mustang at Daytona at the Roar before the 24. So excited for that too. Really excited for that one. Those guys are very successful. So.
Now, are you going to be one of the guys that we see sleeping, or are you going to make the full 24?
So the Michelin Pilot actually doesn't run the 24, but okay. I'm working on trying to get into the 24. That's one of those bucket lists
Yeah.
races for me.
You see the dudes all clonked out, got the visors over their heads, and
Yep.
all of a sudden, there's some camera guy right in your grill, as you're trying to take a
As
15-minute
you're trying to
nap,
sleep.
and I'm like, dude, just let him sleep. He's been up for 18 hours.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, I'm excited to do something like that, man. Because I mean, yeah, I would probably end up being one of the ones to sleep at some point. I just
Well,
hope
dude,
they don't put me on TV for it.
right. Well, even when you were talking, you're like, all right, we got 8 individual, hour races. 8 hours is a hard time to keep your adrenaline up that long, at any moment in time.
Yeah, and you don't. you get down, and get kind of sleepy. But I mean, yeah, you get tired, but it's easy to get fired up, when you hear over the radio you got a flat, or all of a sudden a full course caution waves, and you have a very short period of time to get down pit road and get those tires and fuel put in the car before you get back out there. So yeah, it's
So does a pit crew in that series, how many members does it consist of? Is it similar to like NASCAR where they have like so many people that can go over the wall and change tires?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So real quick, because I know Matt's waiting. Yeah, so you're only allowed 5 over the wall, just like NASCAR, but you can't fuel at the same time as you take tires. So you fuel first, and then you take tires. When you take tires, you're only allowed 1 tire changing tool over the wall, but 5 people. So you can use as many people as you want, as long as you stay under 5, of course, to change out tires, but you can only take 1 tool with you. And they're on air jacks. So you put the tire carrier will plug in the air jack, car goes up, and using the pit gun, we'll change the tires out. And you asked earlier why it's more difficult than NASCAR is because the lugs, instead of being, an inch lug like in NASCAR, they're 19 millimeters. It's smaller. The socket's longer. It doesn't just rip off like NASCAR. It's a lot more technical. The lugs don't protrude. They're very receded into the wheel, so they're harder to hit. Just, things like that. But yes, there are restrictions as to why the pit stops take more about a minute than a few seconds.
Well, Brandon, I know you're a busy guy. We'll definitely get you on season 2 with Jeremy's crew or team and all that. Maybe after the episode, introduce the exit jingle. But we appreciate everything that you've done for us.
Of course, it's been a good time, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. And if you don't follow Brandon on TikTok, you're definitely missing out. Yeah. So, I saw the one you posted just the other day of getting almost nailed by the truck. And I'm like, oh, well, I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. All right, guys. Y'all take it easy. Have a good show.
You too.
Yeah, you too. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man.
See you, boys.
See ya.
All right, so we've got that was segment 1 with Brandon Henry, brought to you by Alliance Driveway Solutions, and we're on segment 2. We have NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Matthew Benedetto of Viking Motorsports, brought to you by Spartan Waste. How you doing, Matt?
Great, man. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Well,
Thanks
you for
joining
us,
us, Matt.
Yeah, of course.
So, first question I would have for you is, how and when did you get started in racing?
Oh man, I grew up in Northern California in a town called Grass Valley, not too far from where Kyle Larson grew up, in the same hometown as Brad Sweet. But yeah, I rode 4-wheelers and dirt bikes as a kid, and I was 300 miles an hour, and really my parents were passing through the channels. They passed by NASCAR. And I made him go back to it, and my dad was like, "What the heck do you want to watch that for?" And that was kind of the start of it. So then we watched NASCAR every single week, and my dad was the coach of our Little League baseball team, and one of the kids on the team played. He raced at a local dirt track at Cycleland Speedway in Chico, California, and my dad he our little award ceremony thing for the baseball deal. My dad called me his little Jeff Gordon. He said, "Oh man, he likes baseball but loves racing," and then that's how it opened the door. And they brought us out. They were like, "Oh, come out with us to a race," and so we went out and checked out one of the dirt races, and that was how I got started. I got a go-kart for my 7th birthday.
Oh, very cool.
See, that is one thing I did not know, that you were from California. Because as many times as we've seen you interviewed on NASCAR and on TV and just your TikToks and all that good stuff, you've got that southern drawl like I've started to get, being from Michigan.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
I think it just
most of my
gets you.
life. Yeah, exactly. I've been out in North Carolina most of my life at this point. Yeah, we moved out here when I was 13. I think I was 13, so I'm 33 now, so I've been here a good while. But I do love it out in North Carolina. It's it's super nice and definitely a home. My wife was born and raised out here as well.
So Matt, you're with Viking Motorsports. Last year was your first year in the Xfinity series with them. You guys were affiliated with Ryan Sieg Racing last year, and recently there was an announcement by was it Don Sackett, if I pronounce his name right?
Yep.
The owner of Viking Motorsports and SciAps. He you guys are separating from Sieg Racing and starting your own team. Is that correct?
Yeah, so right now we're kind of in a in-between stage. We haven't announced all of our 2025 stuff yet, and we're still working on all the logistics and everything. But yeah, we're working on some changes. There will be some things similar, but some things different for 2025. As I'm excited to be I've had the opportunity in 24 to drive for Viking, and getting to know Don Sackett and Suzanne Muller, the owners. I mean, absolutely phenomenal people. They're so cool. They've been sponsors in the sport for a number of years, so they've been around for and a big part of the sport for a while now, and it's cool to see them take that next step as owners, and to know that they are equipped to be able to do it for sure. They're fantastic people, and so I look forward to kind of working on the future and continuing to iron out some little things, and hopefully we'll have everything to announce here here soon. We'll have something to tell everybody shortly.
Awesome. Do you plan on continuing to run some dirt races at Millbridge Speedway or any other dirt tracks?
Oh man, that's a good question. This year I had a lot of fun. I got to run run some races out in the non-wing 600 micro at Millbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. So not too far from. I live in Denver, North Carolina, so maybe less than an hour up the road. And I really enjoyed it because I grew up dirt racing out at Cycleland, and I really haven't done a lot of dirt racing. Every time I have, I've done well or won, or it comes back to you pretty quick. But this year, man, I wanted to just do something different. Wanted to challenge myself a little bit, and so I hopped in that micro, and man, it was so much fun. I had a absolute blast driving those cars, and loved doing it. We got in our groove. We finished third one week, fourth one week, and these are around heavy hitters that are big dirt midget racers that race around the country and stuff. So we got real competitive real quick, and still had definitely things we were doing to keep getting better from me as a driver, and then from the team, like working on the car and getting it to my liking and all that. And then kind of, it's like right at that point where I felt like we just got we were just getting hitting our groove, run up front any given week, and had definitely were in contention to win. I ended up kind of taking a step back from it because I did have a couple of decent tumbles. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm fine. But just, I guess, to answer your question, Austin Barnhill, the team I drove for, AB Enterprises, are he's a very close friend of mine, and I love them. And I really, my goal was to help the team and bring more awareness to them and the team, and kind of help them grow that program, because it's a phenomenal program. But I'm not sure what my plans are to answer your question for next year in the dirt racing side. I'd like to do some. I don't know if I'll do a bunch, but definitely like, hopping in and doing that stuff. And it was difficult and a big challenge. It did make me appreciate, just how safe our big stock cars are, though. The NASCAR Xfinity cars. The safety is just unbelievable. The dirt stuff, the safety is good, but you're also in a little micro, or when you flip, you really feel it and you can go for some pretty big tumbles.
Now, can we ever see you in like the Dome or in the Chili Bowl one year?
Yeah, for sure. All that stuff's kind of been on my radar. So I would, yeah, I would definitely be open to any of it, man. I like hopping in different stuff, and we're just racers at heart.
I was going to ask, so Tay, I know she's a huge fan of dirt racing from what I could see by a post of yours from Millbridge. So I'm sure she's probably in favor of you doing some more dirt racing.
Yeah, definitely. It's so funny. I always laugh at Tay because I say, I don't know where you came from, or you were hatched from an egg or something, because my wife is like, her parents are huge race fans and always have been their whole lives. Tay grew up at dirt tracks, Hickory Motor Speedway, Tri-County, all these local short tracks. I mean, she grew up at racetracks more than I did in her young years, and it's funny because she doesn't really, I don't want to say she doesn't care. She likes racing, but it definitely like doesn't run through her blood, like this for me. It's more just she supports me as her husband, and loves me and loves supporting me. Has my back 1,000%. But it is funny because it doesn't really the dirt racing and stuff. She's like, this is a mess. And then I got clumps of dirt. She's standing there at the fence, and you got clumps of dirt coming over in 3 and 4 and hitting us all as we're trying to watch some of the races. And that's definitely not her style.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was watching some of your posts on TikTok and social media, and of course, Kyle Busch is getting into the same ordeal, and just that video of him getting in and out of his sprint car, just made me laugh my tail off when he was honestly stuck in his car, and he's not a big fella by any stretch as far as being wide or thick. But when you say they're tight, they're tight. I got to sit in one over at the North Carolina Hall of Fame, and I'm all 5'5", 160 pounds, and it felt claustrophobic to me.
Yeah, dude, that's probably one of the most difficult parts about those cars, is they're really just not meant. Unfortunately, they're not meant for people my size. Not that I'm humongous or anything. I'm not super tall, but I'm like, maybe 5'11", but obviously I'm, over 200 pounds and just like thicker and wider. And man, those things are definitely much more well suited for your Kyle Larsons. It's a tight fit. And then when you do flip and stuff, it just feels like you're so, I felt like in Mario Kart, I felt like Bowser driving.
Oh boy.
So I know you're a big car enthusiast. What is your dream car, and do you still have your Corvette and your yellow ZR1 Camaro?
Oh man, so I'm definitely, anybody that follows me, and especially probably in the coming weeks, since it's off season time and we're back from vacation and stuff, I was planning to do some car content to have some fun. But yeah, so first question to answer there would be, what's my dream car? And man, I don't know, it's hard to pick one. Um, I love all kinds of different stuff. Like I had the pleasure to be able to own a Lamborghini Huracan. It was a 2015 and got a great deal on it, and it was a great, really good car. I loved it. So that was very cool to own a car like that at a point. But ultimately, a Porsche GT3 RS is definitely the new ones, the 992s. I love love a GT3 RS. They sound super cool, especially when you do full exhaust and stuff. So that's one of many that's probably at the top. And as far as my cars, I don't have my yellow. I had a 2023 Corvette Z06. I don't have it. Currently, I kind of regret. Well, no, kind of not kind of. I do regret selling that car. But I had some investment opportunity that was there, and so I had to make the tough decision of what passes the do I really need it test, and that adulthood stuff here and there, it'll get you. But so I don't have that, but I do have my 2018 ZL1 1LE Camaro, and I've kind of migrated it back more to a street car now. So I put the street seats in it and things, but it has a bunch of stuff done to it. That's a fun car with a big cam, and it's definitely loud and obnoxious and runs amazing on the track. Phenomenal on a road course. And I have my 2012 Corvette. First, it's a Grand Sport, the first ever Corvette I got, and it's supercharged and pretty highly modified. And but it's a really fun car. I enjoy driving. And then got my big dually diesel truck to tow our camper and stuff. And yeah, but that's about it for right now.
Time to get a street legal NASCAR.
Yeah, exactly. I know Joey Logano's done that in the past, which was hilarious. I think he still has it.
Yeah. Call it Mr. Hendrick. They got those up on the showroom floor. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
It's too funny, man. It's cool to see.
I'm like, dude, you got a street attack with headlights and taillights, and all right, you're just gonna hand me these keys? Yeah. Let me call Allstate real quick.
Yeah, let me dial up my insurance real quick.
Right.
Yeah, definitely not a good idea for me. I had a bad experience with my Charger Daytona that I had that I rolled. So my insurance definitely would not approve me to get one of those.
Oh, exactly.
So, but you're a big fitness guy. What made you get into fitness?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a big passion of mine. I was always really small growing up, and then when I was in high school, I was just, I guess, late to the game as far as growing and filling all out to my size. I was just kind of small and stuff growing up, but then in high school, I just decided, I was like, man, I don't, no ego about it. I just like, man, I'd like to get a little bigger and not be so scrawny and tiny all the time. And so I started lifting weights as a teenager. I think I was about, oh man, probably like 14 or something when I started, messing around with it a little bit. And so yeah, probably about 14 or so I started, and then just really enjoyed it, and all aspects of it, not only for trying to be a better race car driver, and that was kind of the point where I was driving bigger cars and things, and was taking my fitness and growth more serious there, but just the fun of it, the enjoyment and learning your body a lot more. I just enjoyed all of it, the mental side of it, making you tougher, and it's all the above, which is kind of how I got started, and I enjoyed it, and then just never stopped. I mean, honestly, since 14 years old, I've probably never missed hardly many weeks in the gym, and have just progressively gotten stronger and learned more over the years. And God's put a lot of great people in my path that have taught me so much, so much, working with some great people who have forgotten more than I know, than I'll ever know, probably. So yeah, it's been great, and it's pushed me to where now I train a lot smarter. I'm now at 33 than I probably did at 23, that's for sure. But no, I definitely feel better now than ever. I've kind of learned over the years what really is my best balance for what makes me feel the best in general, look the best, be the most fit, and kind of be good to my body and feel the best in the race car for sure.
So I have two things. One, I want to say thank you for signing a hero card for me. I never did get to ever say thank you. So now that you're here, I want to say thank you. it was over my birthday 2 years ago or last year. We went to North Carolina, and you were at the North Carolina Hall of Fame the week before, and you signed the hero card. Happy birthday, Bobby! And I got it the following week when I got there, and they said they saved it. So I wanted to say thank you for that.
Of course, I love it. Good deal.
And then, what is your favorite track and why?
Probably, it's hard to pick one. If I was having to pick one, I would probably, probably typically resort to Bristol. I just feel like I can just, run really well there, and I really, really know what I need. I really know the feel that I need. There's just something a little extra special about that place that I seem to have an extra edge over people, over a lot of people. So that is probably my top answer. And then if I was adding car tracks to the list offhand, road course racing is always fun. So any of those are like I really love Road America, a super cool place. But aside from that, on any other ovals, I really love Darlington. That's probably another one that would be really a toss up with Bristol. Darlington is I probably enjoy driving Darlington actually the most. It's super fun. So I like there, and Kansas is a really fun 1.5 miles because you can run from the white line on the bottom all the way to the wall. So those are a few that kind of stick out off the top of my head.
Now, I do have a question for you. Sorry to cut you off, Rob.
No, that's fine.
Now, obviously, Phoenix, the dog leg. We've had a couple drivers on here, and I've forgotten to ask them, is going through the dog leg, the short version, the short route, does it hurt as bad as it looks on TV?
Oh man, that's a super good question because 100% I always think about that. I'm like, man, I wonder if people realize like how this actually hurts and feels like the whole car is going to fall apart when we cut across that transition because it is so rough and so abrupt. So yeah, to answer your question, I mean, I brace up every time I do it, and I only do it obviously in qualifying and then race situations when you just kind of have to. Obviously, there's no other choice. You got to do it, but it's rough on the car. So I try to do it just when I need to. I try not to abuse it, and also it's at least for me, I sure feel it when I go across those transitions. So I try for my body as well to not be doing that too consistently.
Because it just really, really, really grabbed my attention because it seemed like this year was the first year that they would almost hit pit wall and then go into, turn one and then back up on the course. I'd never seen them go that deep into the dog leg because it used to be like Kevin Harvick started it. And, I'd watch him do it and go, that just looks truly like a shortcut, and it was completely legal, but you would see the car like get so skewed and then have to get all four wheels on the ground and then just smack into the banking coming out of turn one, and you just go, that's just physically gotta put you up and then slam you straight back down at least twice, at what, 160, 170, I'm guessing.
Yep. And race cars don't have nice cushy suspension, so it's they're pretty solid hits for sure.
So Matt, I was going to ask you, you used to do a podcast yourself, you and your best friend Ryan Ellis, another NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, Not Another Racing podcast. Do you or Ryan have any plans to ever bring that back? Because as a fan of both of yours, I really enjoyed it, and I thought that it was pretty fun to listen to you guys cut it up.
Yeah, it's funny. We have talked about that, Ryan and I, especially now that we're back. We're racing each other in the same series, and a lot's changed since we did pause the podcast, because really the reason that we paused it was Ryan was about to have they were about to have their first baby, and he was working at the time, like, kind of a normal job, and he wasn't a driver right at that very time. And so scheduling was a little bit difficult, and just due to life circumstances, they're like, it's too tough. So we paused. And then this year, since we've been racing together every week and both being in the Xfinity series, we were chatting, about that actually, and I tossed that idea around. So it's definitely, not off the table. We're both open to it, and it's a possibility. And if there's a lot of demand for it, we may, that's something I'll throw in the 2025 talks.
I was going to say, you got Guido Nation behind you, which is really cool. That leads into another question I have for you. Why do you think there are so many fans that have gravitated to supporting you in racing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been blessed beyond measure, that's for sure. I've had, a very dedicated group of followers for a long time, throughout the whole journey, really, which has been cool. Not just, racing for bigger teams, but like throughout the whole journey, through the grind, a lot of people just, I think what I don't know, a contributing factor maybe is that, I always try and I one just be respectful to people in general, and but two, when I'm sharing on social media and stuff, I try and share like it's me and my few friends. I try and make my social media no different than if it was me and my 50 friends on Facebook versus 100 some thousand. That doesn't, I try and just, I think I've always just kind of been pretty open book and shared the journey, and been pretty much myself, and it's been neat to go through this journey with the fans is a very large part of it, and so many unique circumstances and things. And so it's been cool, and they've stuck with me through, all kinds of ups and downs and many years of life growth, and kind of different, changed my faith journey, you name it. And I've just had a great, group of people behind me and support around me that, well, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without all those folks, and and some awesome fans, and all the above.
So yeah, I find that really special because obviously, I watched you on Sundays for years, but I really started to watch when you made the big announcement and started talking. We don't like to talk about politics, religion, or anything like that, but that really, really caught me personal, attention, and then that's when I really started to follow you and see that, money's not absolutely everything, and that you were willing to walk away, for your faith. And I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, surely an interesting journey, and I think, yeah, I mean, always hindsight is 2020, and I think, one thing about me is that I've definitely grown more aware of in years recently is I'm always kind of like pretty radical. I've always been pretty radical, all in, like to a fault, sometimes where you're just like all in and so laser focused, and you're so like all in that sometimes that can cause you to just lose maintaining a balance, and maybe a balanced perspective in things and through things in life. And so that's probably been my biggest weakness if I was analyzing myself a little bit in the past. And so, yeah, like back, then it was like I kind of really, I always believed in God and everything, but I really, was searching more inwardly at the soul level for, really wanting to know the truth, and really, kind of building the foundation of my belief system and life. And do I really believe the gospel's true? Do I believe like the resurrection's real? Like all these literal questions I started asking myself, and that's kind of what led to from being a lukewarm, like, yeah, I kind of believe in God and that's cool and everything. Because yeah, that's, probably, but I was living for myself, and then through that process, then I was like, man, living for me and the temporary and money and things and cars and all of it, it just kind of seems like chasing the wind, at some point. And that's And racing, I love racing. I mean, that runs through my blood 1,000%. But even that, it's like I guess when you sometimes life's just taking me through a journey where some of those circumstances make you look at life and racing and everything from a little bit more of a 30,000 foot view, and contracting time down a little bit and more into a box and looking at it all from that view. And anyways, kind of a long-winded way of getting to what we were talking about is, so I was like kind of new in my faith and everything at that point, and felt like a bit of an infant. But I was like so radical and so ready to be outspoken. When now I look back, and if I was advising my whatever that is 30-year-old self, at the time, I'd be like, hey Matt, take her easy, focus on the inward first, and then let God's light shine through you and in the right and appropriate open doors. And I think now I pay more attention to when doors are open or not, or where I should be, and kind of just maintaining more humility, respect for other people, respect for who I'm representing. I think I analyze stuff through more of a business view through kind of my recklessness, in years past. So to that point, what I did, like, talk about politics and mostly most of my faith, but I'm opened up and then started just like, that was fine. But then when I started, you start talking about politics and stuff, I was just so like kind of in my own world and like 200 miles an hour and so outspoken. And now I look back and go, man, I'd have just been like, Matt, shut up and drive that race car. Hold strong to your beliefs. Like nothing in life will ever waver me from my beliefs and stuff, but also respect everybody else's first before inserting myself into anything. So
I was going to say, Matt, one of the coolest things that I saw was Michael McDowell, a fellow NASCAR Cup driver, when he baptized you in his swimming pool. I thought that was really, really cool and an awesome moment, especially for your faith journey that you're talking about. And so I was just curious, how did that all come about with Michael?
That's a great question. It's actually cool memory because Mick, I call him Mick Dizzle as my nickname for him. So we were man, McD and I have always just gotten along great. He's just a very genuine dude, and there's always a great light about him, that I enjoyed being around him, and we related well on a lot of stuff. And he's just kind of a country guy that likes to hunt and is just a family man. And I always had good respect for him. I know he's a godly man and all that. So we're always friends. And then, there were just a lot of seeds that he probably, maybe didn't even realize he was planting with me, but just by being around him and, understanding who he is and what makes him who he is, there were a lot of seeds that were planted that did definitely lead to, my faith journey. And kind of a final piece to the puzzle too is when I feel like I was sort of at a 99% mark in my spiritual journey, we'll say, and trying to really come to know Christ personally, and build that relationship with God. And I feel like I was at 99% mark, but I was kind of like stuck there, and it really hadn't, like, I guess, surrendered, because we're race car drivers, man. We're control freaks, so we want all the control we can in life. And so we get to Richmond. It was kind of like at that point, in my life, and where I had a lot of just questions, a lot of things in my mind, and lots of stuff going on and whatnot. And then and we parked at Richmond, and I pull in, and McD parks right next to me. And we got the track at the same time, and we're early, and we were walking in, so we're like, oh, cool, we'll walk in together. And this is in the middle of COVID too, and NASCAR was just crazy. Everything was weird in the world. All the above. And so we're walking the track, and we're just talking about, just talking back and forth about everything going on. And then finally I was just like, hey man, like, I trust you. I trusted McDowell enough as a personal friend. I was like, hey man, I got some things I'm wrestling, some questions I got. And I was like, how do you like deal with all this stuff? Like, he seemed like he had so much peace, in life. And I was like, how do you have so much peace through whatever's happening in the world, or what, outward or whatever. And he only said one thing to me. He just was like, well, it's all temporary. I know how the story ends and I know who won. So don't matter. It's all good. And when he said it though, I was like, because I had asked him, how do you view all this stuff that's going on and stuff through your faith perspective? That's where I opened the door for him. So I'm genuinely curious, what's he believe? Why has he got so much peace? All this. And when he said that to me, I was like, man, I can tell he knows, like it's very real to him. It's not like some religious guy with some religious belief. It was just like, it was very like a personal relationship. I could tell he really knew it. And I could feel like, if God is spirit, he sure spoke, through that man to me today and hit me real hard. And so to wrap up that kind of story, that was a very, integral moment where it just hit me so hard. Like God just hit me right through him. And that was very special. And I was like, wow. And so then anyways, not too long after is when I really kind of, everyone's journey and belief system and, journey into a personal, relationship with God, if they believe the Bible's true and all that stuff, it's personal. It's not a religion. It's a personal thing. And everybody's way to get there on that road is different. Mine just happened to be a pretty, I guess, because I'm a radical personality, everything in that everything's got to be kind of some radical, I guess. And so had a pretty profound like encounter where it's like Jeremiah 29:13 is my favorite verse. It says, you'll seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. So if you have an open heart and you're looking for God, just like you're looking for, I love cars. So if I'm like, I really want to buy this kind of car, you start seeing them pop up everywhere. Same thing. Same thing with God and his word. And I was like there and really coming to know, I was really searching like hardcore. And then I got kind of really met and encountered, encountered the Lord, and his spirit came over me. And I really like when all that, really happened and it took place, and I really surrendered my life to Christ and all this. And I was like, I gotta call McDowell. So the next day, I called McD and told him, I was like, hey man, the light bulb kind of really went off finally, we'll say. And he knew what I was meaning, and he was so excited. And then it was just a matter of weeks later. My family was out here in town, and when he was here, it was a last second thing. Actually, I called, was like, hey dude, my family's leaving town in 2 days, and if you're not around, it's totally no big deal, but would love to have you baptize me. I got them here, it'd be pretty special. And so him and the family dropped everything they were doing in the next day. They had some plans too, and they moved them. I was like, no, don't do that. But they did and insisted. And the next morning, came and we did that, and he got to baptize me. And so it's been a mentor and a man that I look up to for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. I agree. Michael McDowell is a great guy, and there's several other Christian racers too that are out there, and I know they do certain things that they meet before races and talk with one another. And then you got the MRN, I think it is the Ministry Racing Network or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but either way, I think that's a great thing. And congratulations, Matt, on accepting God as your Savior and going through your whole faith journey and sharing that with everybody. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Amen to that. It's been a cool journey, and just thankful for where I am today and in life, and excited about the future. And man, just I definitely enjoy the little things a lot more now. Like enjoy going to the racetrack, enjoy racing. You kind of gain a much deeper appreciation for all the little things that are very easy to take for granted in life.
Now, oh, sorry, Bobby, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was about to say, out of all your accomplishments so far, on the racetrack, what is your number one, I guess, memory or accomplishment that you've had so far?
A couple that stick out probably. I would say finishing second at Bristol, leading most of that race. That was a tough one to swallow for sure. So I don't know if I'll call it an accomplishment. We finished second, and led most of the end of that thing. And and then got squeezed by Ryan Newman, unfortunately, and got some damage and then lost the race due to it. So that, but either way, why I bring that one up is that was a real important day career wise. It really, I was with Levine Family Racing. We had really just gotten that team where it was really rocking and rolling. It took a little bit to build it, build that program, and to get everybody to mesh. It was new, some new people working together. My first year with the team, with the goal of just kind of, building it and trying to take it to the next level. And it all was really clicking. We started clicking the first half of the year. We were okay. We were solid, but just not, where we needed to be. And then really we started hitting our stride. And then halfway through the year, man, we were just flying. We were top 10, top 5, very consistently. I mean, running really well. And then went to Bristol, and that was, we were by far the fastest car. So that was a big career day. It was a pivotal moment, and I would say also backtracking way before that, when I finished 6th at Bristol many years ago, in 2000, I think it was 16, with BK Racing. It was maybe it was 15. May have been one of the two, but either way, when we finished 6th there for BK Racing, that was that team's best finish ever. So those were big. And then, in the Cup Series, I finished in every position. I finished second multiple times. I finished second at Vegas twice, both in a year. And we, so come so close, been leading on the white flag at Daytona, Talladega. I mean, you name it, we've been in the spot to win. I mean, I could be sitting here talking to you guys with, 4 or 5 Cup wins, if the tiniest of circumstances were any different. But either way, great moments, great, accomplishments, great overachieving. I mean, so many stories throughout my Cup career, and so I've taken teams and running better than they ever have by far, and all those things. But then you fast forward to 2022, when I was with first year in the Truck Series with Rackley War. It was very cool to get the first win for that team at Talladega. So that trophy weighs like 80 pounds and is super cool. So that's a great accomplishment, and I'm thankful to have gotten the team's first ever win, and we did it in cool fashion by driving from the back to the front 3 separate times. Had a couple of issues, and yeah, drove from the back to the front 3 separate times. The last time being only with like 20 laps to go, and we still came through the whole field. So we really did that race, like executed unbelievably perfectly. So that was a special one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost my voice that day, screaming. So
yeah, I did as well.
I was stupid excited that you won it. But
it was definitely exciting for sure, and it felt like 4 hours before they announced who was the winner. Because
I was just gonna say that I'm sitting there and I'm watching the review, or the rerun of the finish, and I'm like, oh, Matty D won, and they're like, well, they're talking, and I'm listening to your scanner, and I'm like, oh, he's won. Come on, just call it. And it did seem like forever for me. And like you just said, it seemed like 4 hours for you. But yeah, that was just so awesome that you got your first win, and for Rackley War as their first win as a team, and then for your career. I think that sort of like was like the reward for all your hard work and dedication and to your craft and everything finally came to fruition, and you didn't have like Denny Hamlin bump you out of the way with a couple laps to go to lose the race or something like that. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan, so I just had to bring Denny up.
Yeah, that's right.
So I know that you're short on time, so the last question I had was, what are the social media platforms that you were on, and how can fans buy your merchandise?
Yeah, we're actually about to drop our new store here soon, and so definitely everybody can be on the lookout for that. And when we announce everything, we'll be rolling out all the gear and everything with it. So yeah, my website is mattdracing.com. So we should, I don't know if it's live right now or if it's not. I need to look myself. We've been working on it right now, but we got, yeah, either way.
I was on it today. It is up.
Okay, the new live site.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, so the new live site, we're gonna have a lot of stuff dropping on our shop here soon and rolling out stuff. So definitely check out my website. My Instagram is Matt D Racing. My Facebook is Matt DiBenedetto Racing. So I think that, and then my Twitter is Matt D Racing as well. So all the platforms we're active on, we're gonna probably might start dabbling in more. I've done some stuff, but might do more YouTube stuff. My YouTube's actually Matty D Racing, Matty, Matty D Racing. I think the Matty D Racing was taken. I can't remember what the details were on that deal. Why that's got to be different. But either way, probably gonna do some vlogs and little stuff. And but the next stuff to come out will probably most likely be some car content here in the next couple of weeks.
All right.
Any cooking shows in the future?
Yeah, actually, we're about to be smoking a pork shoulder, so got that on the agenda next. And yeah, we've actually, I probably need to have documented it better. I think I've been just like relaxing and under the radar for first bit of the off season, but we've been doing a lot of cooking and we're going to be doing a lot more, especially leading into Christmas. So I'll be having to share that a little bit.
Yeah, we need to get
enjoy your videos.
Yeah, we need to get you and Fast Pasta on the YouTube doing the cooking shows.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just for name reference.
Oh, seriously, it's too perfect.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us and coming on, and good luck this next season, and we want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas.
Absolutely, man. Same to you guys. I appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas.
All right, you too.
Thanks, Matt. Say hi to Tay and Brian for us as well.
All right, will do. Thank you, man.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Matty D. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Take care.
All right, you too.
Thanks.
All right, that was segment 2. That was Matty D, brought to you by Spartan Waste. What a great interview.
Yeah, what a great guy. I mean, we talked from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other.
Right.
Man.
Perfect guest for being our last of the season.
Yep.
Right before Christmas. A good way to end on a high note and a positive note.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So going from one end of the spectrum to another, we're going right into another segment. So we've got the Jeremy Clements race recap. We don't have really anything. It's the off season. I know I screwed that up, but this is brought to you by Action RV. And with that being said, we've got another guest. And it's Chad Harrington, Mattman Designs. So
what's going on, Chad?
Not too much today yet, I don't guess.
Come on, man. For a guy that's always busy, you got something going on.
I was going to say, are you recovered from the weekend?
Not quite yet, unfortunately. I am dead tired. I think I might have walked 200 miles because you go running back and forth from where you sit at the dome, down and around some stairs, up some stairs, and around the escalators and around the concourse just to get to the daggum pit entrance. And then the pit entrance is freaking huge because it's basically the whole convention center kind of thing. They go in there and you've got probably a third of, maybe a little bit more than a third of a mile, maybe. And then it turns left and you got about a half-mile walk, and it was just nothing but pits and nothing but cars.
I gotta throw one thing out here to you. I'm gonna share it because I was geeking out. This is freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was the whole reason of me going out there, was that nice little deal we worked on with the promoter for the whole event, sponsoring the Man Designs late model race, heat race number 1 on Thursday, and then second on Friday was the modified heat race. And me and Kenny Wallace, we actually had a nice little conversation on Thursday while he was there, talking about Nick Hoffman's chassis and stuff like that, and how he's got 1 or 2 guys that help him, but he does most of the work, even with all of the fan interactions, to where he is going back and forth with taking pictures, taking selfies, and autographing everything. And he still gets to get out there and drive the wheels off. And when he won the heat race, it was just pretty cool. And then you go back there and take a picture with him. And he said, we were talking, and I said, we was talking about you winning the heat race. And he said, yeah, going out third, I didn't think I'd ever end up third. And then it just lucked out that we were in your heat race, and then we got to win. And we did talk about it yesterday. Let's go around the car. We get a good picture together. So, I mean, that was where the next post was, to where me and him were standing side by side. So it's kind of cool, but it's not the first time we get to hang out with Kenny Wallace, of course.
And I'm over here looking at some of these pictures that you have, and you're over here with this picture here where you're standing next to the trophy.
Yep. They had all of the trophies up there for the Saturday part of it, and up there close to the dirt draft thing and the My Race Pass booth, to where everybody could take pictures with themselves and the trophy and everything. So, I mean, they make it a great fan interaction event.
Yeah,
And we're talking just so our viewers.
You guys put on a absolutely hell of an event. Yeah, I got to watch a little bit of it, and only thing is, I didn't see Wallace's car at the end. Did he keep the fenders on it?
Yeah, well, the rear fenders, yes. The front fenders, there are none, but he did rip it around the outside, hit the fence a few times, but he had to repair it about, a couple of times and everything. So, but he's still up there running the cushion like everybody else, because that was the fastest way around. And they said that they added another 2 foot of dirt up there at the top so that you could get around the bottom and the top, and that's why they were having 2 and 3 wide racing most of the time.
Yeah, it was a hell of a race to watch.
You can actually see in the picture right here, you can see where he got into something.
Yeah. Well, that's one of his contents is, checking the rears, making sure he's got his fenders on it. After just about every race.
And you got to be careful with those things too, because most of those are not composite bodies yet for the open wheel cars like they're allowed on the late models, and they still use a sheet metal in the back, so they can cut down a tire if it gets too close or too far in and everything like that. So that's a good reason he's checking it, making sure that his ain't, been up too far to where he's going to have a problem later on if they don't fix it now.
Yeah, I was just going to say before, just for our viewers and listeners, in case they don't know, we're talking about the Gateway Dirt Nationals race that was this past weekend in St. Louis at the Dome and Convention Center there in downtown St. Louis, where you were, Matt, or Chad, I should say, Matt, man, your business was a sponsor for parts of the event. So, I actually watched it on Flow Racing. First time I've actually watched the dome races, dirt races, and I must say it was very entertaining. The cars, a couple of times I sent these guys pictures of the cars that went through the fence or got stuck in the fence.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that one, I think it was a late model, actually left the track through the fence, and that took a while. But the fence repair people, I know at the Chili Bowl Nationals, I think they have a counter for the number of times the cars flip over. They need a counter for at the Dirt Nationals for the number of times a car goes through the fence, and they have to repair it, I think.
They've had more cars go through this year than any other time, and during my qualifier on the mod race, they were taking the white flag, and the leader was in 3 and 4, and the car decided it was going to go out and exit early. It completely made it out all the way to the floor of the dome.
Oh
So, but
shit.
the late model sort of just went over and just held right there and was like that. But the open wheel actually went up and out and tumbled down and was on the roof on the floor. Now the biggest thing would be counting the fence panels that they actually replace. The event promoter Cody Summer, I went to see him at his shop, and he was loading up the 18-wheeler that took everything out there. And they build the fences and the panels there, and they do the poles and everything and get those all welded. But we saw more poles get sheared off this time, and I would think that it was because the track was a 2 foot higher, and the berm, when everything come back down, it just give them the appearance of having just a launch pad, just like riding a bike up a little bit of hill or a ditch, and everybody jumping.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I didn't know they added 2 more feet to the dirt to the cushion at the top of the track, but that makes sense now. Because as soon as they got right against the wall, and if their back end got caught at all, it was like that one car, the late model, that back end got caught and it flung it sideways and it went through and was wedged in through the fence. That's the first one I saw, but I did see there was an open wheel modified that got launched out through the fence and was upside down. I can't remember if it was it the Bobby Allison Miller High Life Gold modified.
Oh, dude, that late model was sharp in person because of the metallic gold that they actually used for it. It matched perfectly to the old Bobby Allison car. But that pole didn't give, and it just stopped him in his tracks. But it messed up a beautiful race car.
Yeah, that was, I saw that and I was like, oh wow, that is badass.
That kid gave you the best interview, out of sound bites that I've ever heard of an interview a day in my life. He was right off the cuff. Man, I put her on the berm. I was gonna eat it, and hell, I sent it.
He sent it. It ate him.
There's some really good interviews from some of those drivers down there at that race. It was pretty good. Gordy Gundaker, during the interview, the late model driver, he comes out and he looks like Tim Richmond with his race suit zipped like 3/4 of the way down and his chest hair sticking out with a hat and sunglasses on. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
There was a few other drivers that mentioned that. It's like, I don't know how he can wear that fire suit with no clothes on underneath. That just has to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So they was a little bit of fun poking it at that one. So with that setting too, with them putting on a show, you get more candid interviews. But to me, you have to be so policed and careful on what you say when it comes to NASCAR. These guys, they got these sponsors that are to what I would call blue collar companies, and they are definitely more off the cuff, and you'll hear a swear word every now and then, and I mean, especially if they get pissed off or whatever. But most of them are just more genuine than anything, and the sponsors love a lot of that because they are genuine when they get there and start saying this, that, or the other about the racing, and whatever they do for saying they screwed up. It's like, yeah, I just went into turn 1 and just missed it, just overshot it, just bounced it off the wall, and next thing I know, I'm running 6th. Ain't got no chance in hell from here.
Well, then you had the one guy that got wrecked, and he got out of his car and sprinted down the track.
And I was looking at that and watching it and going, when the hell did Rob start racing?
Oh, oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy
I
was a
couldn't
little bit
run that
bigger than
fast.
me. That guy
Oh
was a
my
little
God,
bit
that
bigger
was
than me.
the interview of him was awesome too. He goes, it was something along the lines of halfway there, this fat guy decided that this probably wasn't a good idea, but I said, "Damn, I'm already halfway there. I can't back out now," or something
Yeah.
along those lines. It was hilarious. I was like, oh.
Well, you look at him, and I look where I came from. You know, I'm under 250 now, but I used to weigh 300. And my son said when I was playing softball that I wasn't ever running from when I was running the bases. He said the best I could do was a fast little scoop, but that was it. That joker was on a full tilt sprint, boy.
Right.
And I can say this, that's the difference between being young and being old.
He threw more punches and probably did just as much damage with that guy wearing the helmet, you know, as Tyson did. He he let those fists of fury go, and the kid's just sitting in the car going, "Yeah, I don't understand why this old man's hit me in the face, but all right, I still got my helmet on."
Well, you better go back and watch it. That joker was trying to get his seat belts out. He was trying to pull him out of the car by the helmet. He was wanting to get him out of the car to fight him.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing about no hitting him in the head as much as it was when he wasn't cooperating. He hit him in the head and knocked him a little loose so he could get back to the seat belt.
But I thought I saw him starting to rip at the steering wheel, and I'm like, all right, he's trying to undo the steering wheel and throw it off into the crowd, or do whatever he was going to do with it.
Yeah, it was the announcer said something along the lines of about the visor being so strong that it stayed on from breaking off, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically should get a visor sponsorship out of it. Basically, is what it was. It was pretty entertaining. That's for sure.
Well, that just says good quality products by whoever he gets his visors from, and they should definitely take that and say, look, I don't care what fight you get in, our visors are going to stay put.
No matter crash or fight, we stand up to the punishment.
My name's Flint Boyer, and this visor is the only thing that beat me.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow.
So, Chad, I have a couple questions for you.
All right, shoot.
Tell us about upcoming things in 2025.
Well, we really don't have a schedule set yet, but we've got to look at that, and it could be that we doing a little more traveling and whatnot because of the fact of the way that November's been, with me traveling back and forth from Alabama to Charlotte and back home to the Sonora Raceway and then to the Gateway Dirt Nationals. And then Thursday night, I actually leave and go to PRI. So I'll be at the PRI show Friday and half a day Saturday in Indianapolis this week. And just the orders that we've been getting over the last month and a half has been phenomenal because of, small business like myself. A lot of times you're going to get recurring business from other people and some people that are going to see you online and ask you questions and then give you some business and whatnot. But the bulk of my business will keep me busy for 2 to 3 weeks after a racetrack visit when you go see these racers and team owners in person. And the relevance of doing stuff like that is very, very high. And the other people that are not going to the races and stuff like that, I see them as, they're making it and they're doing well, but how much better could they be if they were actually at the racetrack like I am? Because I think that's one of my saving graces and how I've been so busy and working so well with all my customers and new customers alike.
Yeah, I want to say thank you. This is one of Chad's creations right here on the wall.
You know, a little bit of banner work.
Yep.
And you never know where you're gonna see Chad. You know, it could be in Charlotte, it could be in Georgia, it could be in Kansas City, it could be in Lowell, North Carolina. You just never know.
And
now he's gonna be at PRI.
Yeah, he just happened to walk in. Next thing you know, Dave walks in and speak to him while he's in the racing warehouse. He's like, "Where the hell did you come from?"
And here I come walking out with that piece right there.
Yep,
my early Christmas present.
Sure enough, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I came walking in and you're talking to Eric. And I said,
yeah,
son of a bitch. I said, huh? He's a little out of his district to be up here. I said, you never know. I said, last time I saw him, I said, yeah, I think it was either at Atlanta or, you know, I can't remember.
We were in Atlanta for the fall race.
Yeah.
And the cool part was that I was leaving. I dropped off a few things to have embroidered, got a few more things embroidered, still got some more stuff to get embroidered. But left there and went to Jeremy's shop and delivered some hats, hung out around there at the shop and everything for a little while, went out to eat. And if y'all ever get Mark on the line, ask him about that double burger I ate that I thought was a smash burger. And when they brought it out to me, asking what my eyes looked like and all of that good stuff, because I was wrong. I bit off way more than I could chew that day. And then I took off to Greenwood, South Carolina, went and spent the night with my son at his house and spent the day going to hang out with Scott Ward at the One Stops. And we're doing some mats for One Stops, both of his locations, and ate lunch with him at the new Mexican place at one of his One Stop locations. And then that evening, me and my son drove all the way back to Charlotte and go for an Iron Maiden concert.
Nice.
So, I mean, I spent almost 2 full weeks in Charlotte.
Right.
Yeah, what I was going to say is about the dirt Gateway Dirt race. The late model driver that won, Brandon Shepard, I believe, was his name. He had one of the mats that you made to commemorate him winning the championship of the race, or for the race winner. I thought that was pretty cool. It looked really nice.
Yes, I got to give one away for him and one for the mod guy, Trevor Neville. But the cool part is I'm also on the deck of Brandon's car, and I hadn't put his new mats out there yet. But as soon as I get in there, I go over there to him, and I start bringing that mat over there, and the microphones are all away. And he said, "Shit." He said, "Chad, I'm sorry. I forgot to even mention you. And you got a big ass damn decal on my deck. And here you are giving me a mat for winning the race." And but it was kind of cool. He gave me a hug right there in Victory Lane and said, "Thank you for everything you've done for me, especially getting these mats." Because we delivered 2 race teams mats to the Dome and installed them in their trailers so that they could have them at the Dome.
Wow.
So that was real important. And me being a part of teams like that, to where it's almost like you're second to your family, you know, because the way that they treat you when you're there, and the way that they treat you over the phone and text messages and everything else. We're getting a lot of lasting friendships that most people don't realize you get just by being in that racing family. And Brandon Shepard and his family is one of those families, and the Longhorn family and Riggs Motorsports is another that we delivered mats to, and I would consider them as close to racing family for me as anybody, because it's not like we speak every day, but we speak quite often. And just because I was on their car last year, you know, Brandon Shepard actually drove the Longhorn cars for Riggs Motorsports. So it was kind of cool that we were going down through there and just being a little bitty guy on the little decal on the back, you know. And Riggs Motorsports, they acted like I had been there the whole year for them. And like I was a bigger sponsor than I actually was. Got a hug from the owners in Victory Lane after Victory Lane when they come down to the truck and everything, and told me how much they appreciated for doing work and stuff. It's really a great feeling, and you get that with Jeremy's team in NASCAR, but I don't know how many more teams you could get that from in NASCAR until you get there. But you probably got to be there a lot longer than just what I've been in the dirt racing. But a lot of people, because of my dirt racing and being on the flag stand, they've known me for a long time too. So
can I ask what you're working on right now?
Well,
I know you're in the office because I can see it off the glare of your glasses.
I got 6 different orders open that just shipped. I got some Christmas gift mats. I got a team that I work with, Taylor Motorsports, owned by Donald and Gina Bradsher. They contacted me and asked for some mats for some of their better friends that all have RVs and they all go places. And I did some scraper mats for them. Won't mention no names or whoever, so in case some of them actually may see the broadcast, they won't know who it is. So that sort of thing, they all ship today. So they should be getting those by 12/12, and that'll be a great thing. Got them Christmas presents in the works beforehand. And to be honest with you, I probably got about 20 orders and 25 more orders worth of artwork to do that I'm still working on. One of my favorite things about this weekend was some of the drivers we've gotten to be a lot more than just speaking terms and stuff like that. We hang out, laugh, and whatnot. And sometimes you get drivers that move teams and said, "I get you in that place," and you just really wonder how that works. Well, we had one of them that really did pull that off. He bought the team toolbox mat and they put it on there. And then when I met them all at the Dome, I got introduced to the car owner and the team manager and everything. And, we got the 2025 business and, he got me in the door just like he promised. Sometimes you hear stuff like that and you say, well, I don't know if you really will or not, but yeah, these guys are about as true to their word as anybody could get. So, and that's why to me, I like them quite a bit because of some of the things that they help get for me and to do. And then you got some of these guys, they got race teams and they got mats from me last year, but I got this one guy that has come back to me and we've done two or three different businesses for him just this year, just because he loved the mats in the actual rig that he started buying mats for his business and his friends' businesses and everything like that. Made it even incredible to know it's coming. Started downhill, but I took a different approach. I started with the racing side to get the business part. A lot of times, if you start with the business, you ain't necessarily going to get the racing side.
So, Chad, since you're gonna be at PRI, I gotta ask: you gonna make the drive up and come see your fellow friend?
Heck no, man! I'm flying up Friday night and going straight from Atlanta to Indy, and then I'm going and then Saturday I'm taking right back to the airport and going right back to Atlanta, because if I don't come back on the 14th and I miss the 15th, you may not ever see me on this podcast again.
Oh, must be anniversary.
The 30th anniversary is 15th. So
I was just gonna say it's gotta be an anniversary.
Yep. Congratulations on 30 years.
Yep, congratulations.
Happy early anniversary.
Thank you. And
All
yes,
right.
thank you for the 30 years, because I'd have never thought that I was going to make it 5, to be honest with you. But
Well, next time you're up this way.
And you can laugh at it all you want to. A lot of people say you go to your own funeral when you go to your wedding, and you got some that say after 20 years and they got paroled out and they got to get out their life sentence. Well, I missed my parole date at 20.
So, Chad, is your wife tuning in tonight, or
probably not.
Okay,
but if she watches it by accident, I'll get hit in the back.
I was gonna say we'll watch and warn you. She sneaked up behind you.
So, actually talking about PRI, if you get a chance, swing in and see Kylie and her family. They're going to be at PRI also for this weekend to find out whether her or one of the 11 finalists will be named 2024 Who's Your Hero. So
yeah, I remember that, and there's a bunch of booths that I've got to go see, and the cool part about PRI is it all happened so quick that it happened like the full weekend before. Me and the wife was on speakerphone with Mr. Morey from Swag Factory Apparel, and we're working out a deal so that if you get a proof of purchase from me and you need some stuff from him, we're going to give a discount and a code so that you can get that discount. And if you buy something from him and then they buy mats from me, then I give them the same offer, give them a discount and whatnot, just because it's the same sort of thing. So we're into a partnership to build each other, and we're both using my race pass as our folks that built our website, and we do a lot of advertising on my race pass because you get newsletters, you get the all of the websites that they do, the drivers websites, the track websites, and business websites that they do. You'll get that banner feed that goes through, and you may see Matman Designs pop up, and when you see one, if you click it, it'll take you to a contact us page, and we get quite a few of those. And of course, with everything that I've done on tagging my race pass, Flow Racing, and Gateway Dirt Nationals over the past few days at the race when I was posting everything, we've had quite a few contact us over those days. And we've actually already got five orders that have already been done, approved artwork, invoices sent, and mats already ordered and put into production for them so that we can definitely get them to them by Christmas. So it's turned out to be a great deal for that. And we're hoping that sort of thing, since we both work with my race pass, that Swag Factory Apparel grows like we did for our first 2 years, because we're like we're a good product of my race pass, and we are a success story for my race pass because of the way that it's helped us grow over the past 2 years with the advertising and everything.
So, Chad, I know that you are extremely busy, and I don't want to hold you up. So, I want to thank you very much for coming on tonight, and look forward to having you on next season.
All right. Well, I'll be glad to come on anytime you'll have me. So just let me know. And, like I know this one, we talked a little bit about this show just before I left because of that announcement, that I put out there, which is still kind of cool to me. Never in my life would I have expected to see my logo on a Jumbotron, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of crazy and cool all in itself. And while I was there, I don't remember what, but I remember seeing that they actually had above one or both Jumbotrons to where they had another banner up there, and they were selling them for like $50, and it would rotate for a couple of hours up there. I mean, heck, spend $50 and put the Area 51 Racing podcast on there so that they can go watch it and everything next year. Yeah. I mean, that's one good way you could advertise for that, but yeah, I think you you need to be in the dome, or somebody at the dome would have to let you know what it is and how to get to it, because I think it's posted like Thursday early in the event and Friday early in the event, and then it takes it like that. But heck, that'd be a cool thing to do, so you could get you some viewership up over the holidays while y'all are not doing anything.
Heck yeah. So, all
Oh,
right, Chad. Well, we want to wish
see,
you a Merry
Robert's got a
Christmas.
well, Merry Christmas to all you guys too. And hope you don't get too much snow. Well, I know
No,
Dave won't.
Don't even start that word.
no, it's raining
54
here.
here.
So,
Oh, it's been raining like dogs here.
yeah,
It's cold here, and I was telling Bobby earlier it was flurrying a little bit. So
No.
Oh,
it's in
I don't
the,
wanna hear it.
20s here in
let
southeast
me
Wisconsin.
let me tell you this now. I walked out. I think it was Thursday morning or Friday morning. I think it was more or less Thursday morning. It was chilly when we got to the dome. I mean, got there off of the plane Friday, and we went and saw the arch because we were right there at the hotel, right? It was right outside the hotel, right across the street. We come back in, and the next morning we get up, we walk outside. We were ready to walk to the dome because you had to walk over 3 blocks to the west and 3 blocks to the north, And as soon as we walked out, our breath froze and fell to the ground. We said, nope, we won't. We went right back in and ordered an Uber.
well, Chad, let me put this out to you.
Degrees said nope.
Chad, I'll offer you up this next time you're in Charlotte. Please hit me up. I'd love to treat you out for some lunch one day.
Well, next time I come up there, I sure will. Most of the time when I come, my schedule's quite already filled up, but I will try to remember that and keep one of those days, or like the day that I drive up. It may be that I drive up, and maybe that evening would be a good time to go to dinner, and before I get to be all that busy day after day after day after day kind of stuff.
Yep, no worries at all, man.
And Robert, where you at again?
I'm in southeast Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Elkhorn is where I live. It's
I don't know
it's
if
the
I'm
Great
coming
White
down there
North
for
up here. The frozen tundra, as they say.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm coming up there even to watch a Green Bay game in September. It'd be
Yeah, you may be safe in early September.
right.
I mean, this year, thank God, the fall, autumn, like into the fall was really good. And then all of a sudden it just went in the crapper as soon as it got to like November. It was like, okay, now it's going to get cold.
Yeah, we're talking about, oh yeah, it's getting a little chilly. Rob sends us a picture of like 12 inches of snow on his backpack.
Yeah.
We're like,
these guys are laughing, and I'm like, not funny, guys. Not funny.
We're laughing because Dave's in 50-degree weather. I'm in 40-degree weather, and this fool's in like 10-degree snowy weather with freaking 12 inches of snow. We're dying.
And let me tell you, at 50 degrees, I am shivering with a Carhartt on.
Oh, you're a sissy.
Hey, don't do that. At 50 degrees, I'm doing the same thing, but blood thinners suck.
No,
man.
50 degrees here. I'm in a freaking just a sweatshirt outside.
Yeah,
that's like my daughter in Arizona. If it's 70 out, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm freezing. It's cold. I got to put on a jacket and a sweatshirt."
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, seriously?
Oh yeah.
Now, is this during the day or during the evening? Because my father-in-law, before he passed away, he told me that he actually was in the Army and got stationed out there in the desert, and he said it would be 90 degrees in the day. And then while they were out there in the desert, it dropped to the 30s and 40s because of that sand and everything. It don't hold heat.
No.
It radiates the heat. It don't hold it.
Yeah, right now they have a freeze warning. So figuring a freeze warning to them would be in the 50s, but it actually is down into the 30s at night there right now. So, which surprises
help us all.
Yeah. You got frozen cactuses and whatever.
Margaritas.
Yeah.
Well, I can say this: we're planning on as a family too. I forgot to tell you this that because of Mexico City and my wife being married to not my wife, but my son having his wife, her family's from Mexico, and that's where we went for my son to get married. Um, we're probably going to make it to the Xfinity race in Mexico City.
That would be
that's
awesome.
awesome.
That would be awesome.
That is one thing that we're already planning for this upcoming year, because we'll get to see and get her family a lot more, and get to meet some that we ain't never met, and be kind of an awesome trip. And then she'll be able to take us to some great places to eat like she did when we were there on for their wedding and everything. And I'm telling you, son, if y'all got to go to Mexico. I mean, you could feed hordes of people for cheap. We fed breakfast one day. We took 8 people out, and I think it was like $40. And we were having the little gorditas, and we were having 7, 8, 9 a piece, and it wasn't but $40. And it's some of the best food we've ever eaten. You just think you have Mexican here? No. I mean, we've got a great Mexican restaurant, and the owners from Mexico and everything like that, but it's even better. I mean, it's better than any other Mexican that we can ever have. But when you go down there and get the authentic, everybody's cooking. It's like their mama's. It's like you go to your grandmama's house for Sunday dinner, right? That's like going to their grandmama's house for Sunday brunch or something like that. It's like incredible.
So yeah, I'm one of those tourists that would stop at Taco Bell.
Yeah, you probably would. But the problem is, I don't think they have a Taco Bell down there. I did see a Little Caesars while we were riding down through.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, they had a DJ and lights and everything and having a party in there on the sidewalk right there by Little Caesar.
Oh, yeah.
No joke.
Detroit style.
I can't.
I was just gonna say I don't know how to respond to that.
I have nothing on that. Like, I'm trying to put my head around that, and I have nothing.
I think Chad made me speechless for the first time in my life.
Well, here you go too. We're riding all over the place. We're supposed to go eat, right? And they take us back around this neck of the woods right behind the foundry and the petroleum factory and everything. And all of a sudden we just stop. We get out. We're a block away from a boat dock. Well, the restaurant's across the sound, and we got to take a boat ride across to the restaurant. And we get to the restaurant, and they ask you what you want and everything like this. And we had a bunch of great stuff. And my daughter-in-law's dad said, "You want to know what's in there?" I said, "Nope, I don't need to know what's in there. I might stop eating it but this right here is good stuff." And I probably ate a half a bowl of whatever it was, but I did not want to know what was in it. And then they come out for the entrees and asked, would you like the catch of the day? And they brought a whole tray of fish. And it was local caught that day. And they will come in and trade fish for beer at a restaurant so that the restaurant actually has fresh fish. And I got a yellowtail snapper, and they scored it on the sides, gutted it. It was a whole fish.
Wow.
I mean, one of the most incredible fish that I've ever eaten too, and all the sides and everything. I mean, it's an incredible culinary experience just to be there versus anywhere else. So I really can't wait to go to Mexico City and have that kind of deal there versus being on the coast where we were in Tampico, Mexico. But that ought to be an incredible race too.
It should be, yeah, it should definitely be entertaining.
Yeah, I hear their roads are nicer in North Carolina's.
Oh, Jesus.
Some of the potholes I hit, I can
I mean, are they better than Michigan?
Well, anything's better than Indiana. That's all I can tell you.
No,
I mean, you go
no.
around
Dave
Indianapolis
knows
and
what I'm talking
everything.
about Michigan.
Oh, it's fucking shitholes. You know, I've been in porta potties with that were shallower than some of the potholes I've hit in Michigan.
No, he ain't kidding. There's some pretty deep ones. All right. Well,
Oh my
with
goodness!
that being said,
I'm done.
Yep. With that being said,
I got you, Chad.
Chad, if you'd like to stay on, you can. We're gonna run through the rest of the show.
I'm liable to interrupt you guys and make it take 10 times as long. So let's let y'all take off and go. Y'all the host and everything, not me. I'm just the innocent standby that gets to play on y'all show once every so often. So
I
thanks for having
appreciate it.
me. And y'all
We
have a good
appreciate it,
evening.
buddy. Merry Christmas and
Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Yep.
Yep. And I've got an envelope that I got to ship out to you too, Robert, but it'll get done sometime this week. It's going to be the shirt from Darlington.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't got around to it. It's been crazy for me for the whole month of November. And it's like, I've got it on my list, got it on my thing, and just ain't made a label for it yet.
Okay.
All right,
Not a
Chad.
problem.
Talk to you
All
soon,
right.
buddy.
All right.
See you later,
See
Chad.
y'all later.
See ya. Take care.
See ya. All righty. Bye.
Bye.
So that was episode 3.
Am I the first one to make Chad silent?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And you did it twice.
I've never heard him quiet at all. I'm kind of proud of myself.
So episode 3 was brought to you by Action RV. JCR's off this season. They're on the off season. Spartan Waste and Fox Sports Spartanburg and other JCR partners are doing their Christmas livery for the annual Spartanburg, South Carolina Christmas parade, and that car is freaking sharp looking.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. And I think there's some other parades. Thursday. What's that? I'm sorry.
They moved the parade to Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the weather here has honestly been nasty, and it's supposed to be nasty all week. So they decided to move it. You know, unfortunately, it was on my day off, and I was gonna try to head up there, but I won't be able to make it up there this weekend.
Yeah, I know. I think there's some other parades that they take the car to as well. I thought I saw one where Jamie Smith from Elite Towing had it at a parade this past weekend somewhere. I thought it was.
Yeah.
So
Brandon just got a shout out from his team. They're watching.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I already brought up Kylie and her family at PRI. If you're interested in purchasing any of Kylie Glick Racing merchandise, please go to Kylie Glick Racing on her Facebook page and click on the link in her merchandise post. Being serious about this real quick, if you order in the next 3 hours or 2.5 hours, you will have it before Christmas. I seen the post today saying that you had until midnight. So.
Yep, and they just released a really sweet looking hoodie.
Yeah.
A Racing Warehouse?
No, from the KylieGlick.com.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
I thought he said Racing Warehouse. Being old and my hearing's not great, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree that Kylie Glick, the black hoodie with the red.
Yeah.
With it straight down the side. Yeah, I like that.
That looks awesome.
So we want to give it Area 51 as a whole wants to wish Kylie a good luck this weekend at PRI, and hopefully she becomes Who's Your Hero. We'll have to wait and see what happens and go from there. remember to go to our YouTube channel, like and follow. And remember, everybody, we are on Spotify. We officially, as of this morning at 10 a.m., we are no longer on Podbean. I officially shut it down, and we are officially on Spotify. All 49 episodes are on. We will be on episode 50 probably, what, Rob? Probably tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll probably do it in the morning.
Okay.
It's easier to upload everything in the morning for some reason. I don't know. Usually after the show, I get some issues of the internet here. So
make sure you guys like us on Facebook, Instagram, X, Area 51 Racing. This is our last podcast episode for 2024, season 1, episode 50. I want to thank Dave. I want to thank Rob. I want to thank all of our fans. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I know I'll say it again at the end, but I'm looking forward to working with Brandon and Chad and Dave and Rob on doing some awesome stuff for 2025. Episode 51 will be a special episode with the Clements family. Remember that if you have not done so, go to stickygears.com and purchase one of the Area 51 Racing t-shirts for $15. A portion of that money goes directly to Jeremy to keep him on the racetrack. Also, check out Anna Moore Designs. That woman is on fire. Not even going to lie. She is like woman on a mission.
Between sick kids, Christmas time.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything else, which we wish you a speedy recovery, and hopefully they can figure out what's going on. And Anna, our prayers and thoughts are always with you.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
I'm actually supposed to meet up with her Sunday. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but Adrian and I were gonna go down and see her. But
I just ordered my Lions shirt
I
from
just
her.
seen that.
I'm pretty stoked about that.
I saw that.
Two
And
favorite
I wanted to make a comment about that because I'm a Packers fan, but I refrained.
Man, do I love me some Detroit, and I love me some Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
And you love stirring the Kool-Aid.
Oh, I love it.
So, guys, remember, if anybody wants these stickers, Anna does have them. Rob and I and Dave have probably, 50 of these things? We have a whole bunch of these. Anna still got a bunch of these for sale if you're interested in them. These are $8. The little ones are $4. Sorry, it's upside down. There you go, $4. She has a bunch of stuff that she is selling, journals, cups. We're actually talking about coming up with some new cups for next year and doing giveaways for them, along with a few other things. We are partnered with Gale. If you go to galebeard.com, enter the discount code Area 51, you get 15% off the order and you get free shipping. Rob, Dave, what do you make them say?
Gale.
Make them say it. Gale. So check out the Racing Warehouse for several new Jeremy Clements hats and other Jeremy Clements gear. You never know what kind of sheet metal you're going to find, right, Dave?
What?
I said you never know at the Racing Warehouse what kind of sheet metal you might find.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We're in Dave's basement or his garage, his house, the back of his Camaro.
I literally still have shit in the back of the Camaro that is just in a box. It's just so if anybody's interested in shit that's in the trunk in the back of Dave's car, hit me up.
The mobile racing warehouse.
The mobile.
Right. We'll meet. We'll rendezvous at Hillbillies.
Oh boy. So, like I said, this is episode 50. We have only missed 2 or 3 weeks of this season. With
due to weather,
yeah,
causing internet outages, storms.
Yep. So, with that being said, next season, Dave, Rob, and I are going to do every other week, we believe, starting in February. That way, it kind of gives us a little bit of a break. Plus, we kind of can give you guys a little bit better content, I believe, instead of every single week, and just I think we can get two guests on the show at a time. I think it'd be better quality than having one every week. So we're looking forward to some changes in 2025. But like I said, Dave, thank you. Rob, thank you. 50 episodes. I'm proud to have done 50 episodes with you guys.
It's nice doing 47 with you guys too.
Yeah, thank you as well, Bobby, for your hard work, and I appreciate it as well.
So with that being said, we'd like to thank our partners who make the podcast possible. Thank you for making our first season a big success. And we gratefully appreciate everything that everybody's done to make the podcast grow and become a success. Spartan Waste, Fox Sports Spartanburg, Impel Union, Alliance Driveway Solutions, First Pacific Funding, Elite Towing and Recovery, Whitetail Smokeless, Fly Inform Concrete Structures, Runner's Roost, Matman Designs, Action RV, Booze Pops, Nordic Logistics, Wings Etc., Anna Moore Designs, Gale, Sherfit Companies, High Speed Auto, Enigma Tattoo, Kylie Glick Racing, and of course, Jeremy Clements and Jeremy Clements Racing. And with that being said, the 2024 season has officially come to an end with the Area 51 Racing Podcast. And we're going to have one last Booze Pop jingle. So, Dave, tell Hunter to start dancing because we're going to start.
All right, Hunter. Time to get your groove on, my boy.
It's a veteran underdog ice cream truck. Booze Pop, baby, it's Booze Pop, baby. Bringing people together. One booze pop at a time. Let's go. We're gonna rock out with our pops up, baby. It's the only pop that keeps you warm. You can rock out to go to boozepop.com.
Everybody, 2024 has come to an end. Rob, Dave, thank you guys once again. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays from everybody here at Area 51. And looking forward to 2025 and coming out strong. So we'll see you guys in February.
I agree. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a good Happy New Year, and see you in 2025.